What's up, y'all? It is December 31st, 2016, better known as New Year's Eve. That's right. You are, first of all, let's congratulate yourself. Congratulate yourself that you made it to this day. Do you realize just the importance of that? That means just from a physical standpoint, you have seen 364 days complete, and you are on the 365th day. You're in it. So I commend you on that because I don't have to tell you. Some people wish that they could get the last 3 hours of their life back. There are those that wish that they could get back tomorrow. There are those that wish that the reality that they know it to be was not. So, you know what today is? This is a day of having your inspirations to be spoken out into. First of all, let me not be rude. Let's not be rude. Because I know y'all saying, like, what the hell is he doing? Well, what you don't realize is, y'all, is I still have obligations today. I still have to work today. I have to fulfill my obligation for my economic current status. So Joe got to work. It's all about planting those seeds. But that's okay though, because in the intended time, in the intended moment, it's all gonna make sense. And the validation of seeds planted will harvest in the intended time. Who am I talking to? So let me throw this out here real quick because I'm getting dressed. And so you just work with me for another, give me about 7, 8 minutes real quick. I'm going to be talking to you, but I got to multitask. See what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the things that some of you are going to embrace in your life. The ability to juggle, not because it's based off of impulse, it's because of correction. Who am I talking to? You already know what you need to do. And you also know that you have a allotted amount of time to complete it, and it is time sensitive. So you got to get on your good foot and make sure that all your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. Who am I talking to? Just make sure while you're doing that, it doesn't disrespect who you are. It does not cause you to compromise your self worth in the process, because if it is, it was all in vain. So give me a second. I'm still talking to you because Juro got to get dressed. So where are you in your thought process? Where are you? Now, I got to be honest with you. I would be remiss if I did not point this out. If you are waiting till right now to come up with a game plan, you're already behind the curve. Did you hear me? You are already behind the curve. You said, well, why am I behind the curve, Gerald? I'm gonna tell you why. Because as long as it's not thought out, you cannot come up with a game plan. that's going to be long standing. You understand? So why rush? Nobody told you to rush your life, but no one asked you to be stagnant either. Who am I talking to? So what's required is you're going to have to be real. You already know what your strengths and weaknesses are all about, right? Come on now. Why do you have to have people tell you what you already know? And I know somebody saying, well, Gerald, that might, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but that doesn't, that's not necessarily true. Really? But why are you making concessions on things that should be rightfully yours? Who am I talking to? So you're behind the power curve. Now, can you change it? Yeah, you can change it. You can change it. You're damn right you can change it. But the question is, are you going to be fully committed to that change? Well, uh, I know I need to do this, but if it don't suit, if it don't fit my timeline, then I'm not going to invest. Well, why are you even thinking on it? Because your greatest commitment that you'll ever have is to your life. It's to your life. Now, I know some of y'all like, why are you, what are you doing? It's cold out here, y'all. It's cold as hell on the East Coast. And guess what? Your boy, I ain't trying to get pneumonia. But here's the kicker. That's another extra added expense for your health. That should be something that should not be even compromised. Who am I talking to? Give me a second, y'all. All right, appreciate your patience because I gotta get my hoodie. Because hey, I'd rather have over the amount and take off as needed than not have enough and suffer. Ain't doing that. Where I work, there is no trees. And I like my health. Sure do. Mm-hmm. And I'll say this right now, not to throw no shade. Hey, Queen, you see what I just did? You saw what I just did? Saw what I just did? If your guy ain't doing that, that ain't your guy. Who am I talking to? That's right. I have an occupation. I have a salary job. I have to sow seeds to get paid my worth. Mm-hmm. Oh yes. So if he ain't doing this, he don't deserve to be with you. And the question is, why are you settling? But this does not give you a pass to sit on your tuffet and to assume because you are blessed to have that unk that is your pass through life. No, it is not. It is not. Because guess what? You're going to have a lot of people in 2017, y'all. Thank you for your patience. I know, like, what is he doing? See, I'm showing you an example of multitasking, y'all. That's what I'm doing. Now we're back. So 2017 is going to be brutal truth. Brutal truth. Because it's a 1 year. That's about new beginnings. So guess what? New seeds got to get planted. Therefore, that means validation already starts. So your harvest is already there. The efforts that you've already put out, 2017 is validations of what you put in there. Mm-hmm. And some of y'all are not going to like what you see. But here's the thing about it. A great percentage of you are going to struggle with that truth. Because it is going to go against your belief system. Well, I thought that, all that and all that here, you're going to see the fruits of that labor. No, that didn't matter. Oh, you thought I was going to? No. And you're going to see exactly how your perceptions have led you astray. Mm-hmm. So what's really required is this. When you're going to step back into your life, the real life. Because with your real life, the moment that you decide to claim your real life, guess what? See, when you claim your real life, you can build that. Mm-hmm. You can change that. You can make adjustments as needed because that's your life. You don't need permission to do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're talking about that beautiful person that looks in the mirror to the real person that looks back. Yeah. We're talking to you. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying this because 2017 is going to be a validation year. 2017 is going to be that what you going to do moment. You're going to have to deal with the W's. You know the W's. Who, why, when, where, or better yet, why not? These are all going to get answered. And then you're going to see this too. You know how I always throw that metaphor of real recognizes real? See, the moment that you decide to take those glass slippers off and place your feet on solid ground, you'll actually you'll see what you were not privileged to. And you'll see the underlying cost of that. And some of you may finally have the courage to let them tears flow. The real question is, who told you that you couldn't? Don't you know the same people that said that don't cry, don't show your weakness? Because if you show tears, that means you're weak. That means they didn't want you to tap into who you really were. Because when you walk through life without a connection to your emotions, you're already metaphorically walking dead. Do you understand that? Every time that you choose not to tap into your emotions, because your emotions are nothing but degrees. They're nothing but emotional feelers that are needed to bring your discernment into full capacity, the real you. So when they tell you, you better not cry, you better not show emotion, they're basically saying, we don't want you to be aware. We want to keep you on that path because as long as we keep you on that path, they win. They can't afford you to be grounded. They can't afford that because the moment that you decide to look at that person that's looking back in the mirror, you know, that little boy, little girl that you who you really are, they'll they'll finally have to deal with the threat of who you really are, the person you are destined to become. Because see, these were the things God gave you the moment you took your first breath. You do understand that, right? You also gonna find this out. And let me throw this out here real quick. um, I'm really gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna really enjoy today because God willing, He'll bring me home safely into my sanctuary, and I will do what I've been doing for the last nearly 5 years, almost 6, and that's giving thanks, reflecting, and taking stock on the things that are worth to be measured. How about the things that are left still not completed? Who am I talking to? I feel this. I feel this. Somebody's getting really tired of being tired. And it's gotten to the point that you have this energy towards somebody that even when you think about them, you get nauseous. First of all, that's nothing but mental. That ain't nothing but a mental thing. But when you think about them, it makes you sick. But see, here's what you are overlooking them. It You have to take ownership because you allowed these people to have access to your life. So you signed off on it. Yeah, real hip hop. So 2017 is going to be that year, y'all. First of all, let me backtrack. Let me tell you something. Let's get back to the other point that I was making, and then I segued from it. 2017, as I have echoed before, is your validation year. You are also going to see the cracks that are what you thought was smooth. You're going to see the cracks because the unions, the bonds, the agreements that were embraced by you, your mindset is going to be this: do you make me grow? Do I feel safe? Do you inspire the best me? Imagine I got a mic here. You know, like how they do it in Congress, and they're being in front of the tribunal, and they're asking them questions that they already know the answers to, and they try to come off like the the innocent people. The other one is okay. Do you see my worth? And then the last one's going to be, do you see? Am I able to build with you? Those 4 questions going to come up. And some of y'all, unfortunately, are going to be gracious, and some of y'all are going to be shook Because guess what? When you don't even think, see, look, the worst thing you can do is try to outsmart yourself. And when I mean outsmart yourself, you fall into is either to deflect and step over the vomit, then clean it up, then clean it up. I know I smell it, but I'm gonna act like it ain't there. Some of y'all are gonna actually tap into your intellect, and you're gonna challenge your intellectual side with your perceptions, and you're gonna finally sit down and you're gonna weigh the pros and cons with the contrast of your reality today. You understand that? Some of y'all, oh man, I got some EPMD out here. So I got the old school hip hop on. I'm a hip hop head, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I was that dude up in the 90s, in the 80s, and the 90s that, for those people who know me, I am a connoisseur when it comes to music. If it is good, I have it. I have my catalog. Now, granted, we are advanced and we have MP4s and which is fine. Which is fine when you're mobile, you're on the go, and you want to play a certain theme of music to inspire you. But there's nothing better than the experience of being able to pick up that album or pick that CD up and open up the jacket and read the credits. And I think, thank you, my father, that's what y'all gonna be doing. You're gonna go through your life. You're gonna take a time of introspect and you're gonna read the credits. You're gonna look at the things that you've accomplished, and you're gonna see those that supported you, and you're gonna look at what the value or the cost of that accomplishment. Who am I talking to? Because the reality is this. Some of y'all are living up on the hill, metaphorically. You got everything that you want, but you feel empty. It feels like every time when you go home, it's another, it's like that that uh that artist or that act that's coming through the curtain in that circus. I'm like, damn it, can I get a break? What is going on today? What is there? What do I have to fix now? I got this feeling. That's what you feel like. You feel like that person is running around with a big old uh, roll of paper towels, and you are picking up and cleaning up messes, and you got a knack for that. You are the fixer. That's why they come to you. But secretly, if they knew, that is a deflection of the things that you have to do for your life. Who am I talking to? And then I know some of y'all, thank you, my angels, are going to refuse to see and acknowledge what has transpired. And guess what's going to happen? Y'all going to be catching vapors. Metaphorically, what he was saying was when you have a certain mindset, you can't see potential, or the opposite. If you focus on potential and not look at efforts, you will never see the blessing. You will never see the blessing. And you know what? I wasn't going to say anything, but I'm going to throw this out here too. See, today is a very special day because this is going to be your reset. And today should be a day of introspection and just take in all that you've seen and experienced for this year. Now, look, unless you didn't came out of a rock, I'm from under a rock, or came out of a cave, or you was in some biodome where you did not have access to measuring time. 2016 was a year of culmination. It was also a year of death. Mm-hmm. It sure was. And you got a lot of people that are walking around still with a loyalty to their denial. You have spent countless time and conversations and efforts just to make sure that they were okay, but they still ain't got it. So the lesson for you was you have to redefine your boundaries because you refuse to see truth. Truth is these people do not want to change. Can people change? People change every day. Every day. As long as you look, let's do this together. You felt that? That was your breath. As long as you got that coming in, guess what? That's stimulating that beautiful mind of yours. That's being validated by that amazing heart you got. So guess what? That is also a display of free will and opportunity. But see, those opportunists, they laughing. They sit and they watch, and they already know that, yeah, I'll give it about 2 hours, you'll be calling. And the next lesson on who wants to play the victim will begin. And that's why maybe some of y'all may have been feeling kind of funny style this past week because you can't find these people now, can you? You can't find them. Don't get mad. Hope that they okay. Hope that they all right. Because what you don't know, in exchange of them being MIA, you get peace of mind. You're getting peace of mind because guess what? They're putting focus where they want to be. Now let's look at the truth. If they valued your time, you're not that busy that you can't go boom. Hey, what's going on? This is what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm doing this. I'm over here. Truth, truth, truth. Yeah, uh-huh. No, I know. Right. No, but I prefer to do that. Guess what? You got truth. You got truth. And you have the right to adjust. That's what a person of honor will do because they see your value and worth. You can do whatever you want with your time. It's your time. But if your time is depleting you, it's causing you to not rest. How about that? How about, that beautiful thing called rest? Some people also know it as recovery. Don't trip. Don't trip. Do not trip. Take in what is being shown. Because I'm going to tell you what, there's going to be a lot of people, unfortunately, and I don't wish bad on nobody, but they ain't going to see January 1st, 2017. They're not. They're not. They may make it through the bell tolls, the ball drop, or whatever the symbolism is in a town near you, a city near you, in a state near you. They may make it through that. But the question is, will they see the sunrise? Because every time that the sun rises, that is also a representation of a new mindset to be embraced. Who am I talking to? So why are you taking away or allowing things to be broken off that should be building you up? You can't walk with anybody that ain't willing to build. Don't spin your wheels. Respect yourself. And guess what? There's somebody right now that thinks that they got it figured out. They got it figured out exactly. They're gonna be like UPS. I'm just gonna use that as an example. And they're gonna be making their runs. Oh, they're gonna make their stops, they're gonna make their presence known, just to check the dots off that they were there. hmm So that they can actually focus on the end goal of where they really want to put their time. hmm They're gonna be doing that. At least when they expect it, their lesson is going to come, and it's going to bring major distress. It's going to cause them to dig deep, because when that reality hits, the first thing they're going to do is do this. Why does this happen to me now? Or then it may be one of this. It may be this. Why am I running into you? Who am I talking to? It's the truth, y'all. Now, for some of y'all who have found that place inside yourself, I'm talking about to those certain people that you've already had this mindset well over 6 months ago. You know, um, you've got a smile in your heart because you know that this, excuse me, this is the dawning of a new era for you. This is unfamiliar territory for you. But I say to you this, is God there? Is God there? Because if God's there, guess what? You're going to be crying tears of joy. You're going to actually meet the people that He's had for you waiting to enter your life. Who am I talking to? Because these people are going to be the examples of what love looks like. They're going to be the examples of what inspiration should be. And they're going to challenge you, not disrespectively, but for you to connect to yourself. Because these people are going to be very polite, but they trust when I tell you this. You can't bullshit these people. They're going to be like this. I know who you are. I know why I'm here. Now, the question should be asked is this. You going to take my hand? Or are you going to take it? And they're going to give you an option. And you can work, and you could be like, hell no, I'm good. And guess what? They might give you a little smile, a little wink, and they will graciously get out of your way. But here's what's going to happen. If it was divinely meant, because God's work was being done, you're going to wish that you could rewind that moment, because you're going to know their presence is going to be felt, because you're going to feel a more or less like a emotional vacuum. And I'm having a loss of words right now, but put it this way. You know how you feel when you walk in a room and it's already negative? Feels like someone sucked the air out. Well, think the opposite when it comes to these people. You're going to feel a certain kind of way because it's going to make you feel vulnerable being around them. You're going to want to listen. You're going to actually reflect. You're going to understand the power and the importance of these people's lives. How about their time? Mm-hmm. Because they're not going to chase you. They're doing exactly what God asked them to do, and that was be present. Now, this doesn't mean that it is a love relationship in the nature of physicality. Maybe this person is your soulmate. Maybe this person is going to be your mentor. Maybe this person is your spirit guide. Why do you think God said, to thyself be true? You can't be true to yourself until you decide to get to know who you are. That's why I echo to you, millennials. Joe got love for you. Stop running through your life. If you're not blessed to see the age of 35, let me save you some trouble. The best thing that you can do is invest in that person that looks back in the mirror. Get to know that person. The person that is clear-headed. The person that all they want to do is love you back. If you can do that, you will save yourself a whole lot of heartache, a whole lot of wasted time, as well as a whole lot of wasted money. Oh, this is a throwback like I don't know what. Oh, that's Fly Guys. There's one called Fly Girls. It was bad. And the rap had the same relatives of what was going on that goes on today. So that's Fly Guy. So I guess this was a female version to Response. So anyway, 2017 is going to be about truth. I got this feeling you've been convincing yourself, you've been trying to psych yourself up for a couple weeks because there's a certain person that said, well, you know what? I want to bring New Year's in with you. And y'all might have planned like a secret rendezvous or a getaway. And like, well, yeah, we'll leave today and we'll be back Tuesday morning. And you're just blown away that somebody has actually thought in consideration to do something special for you. And you're blown, your mind's blown. Let me tell you something. Don't do it. Don't do it. It ain't gonna turn out like you think it is. Because you're gonna think that you're gonna be going away with this person, and this person is gonna turn around and be like, nah, I brought you here, but this is who I really am, and this is how I really get down. And oh yeah, by the way, this is such and such. And you're gonna be kind of stranded because you're relying on them for transportation. So now you're at a disadvantage because now you can't leave. Don't put yourself out there like that. Stay grounded and stay connected to your environment because that's another thing. You're going to have some people thinking that they are the red light special tonight. And unfortunately, they ain't going to make it home. And that's a sad thing because a lot of people don't understand that New Year's Eve brings in a lot of death. There's a lot of people come up missing. There's a lot of Unfortunately, a lot of murders too, but you don't hear about it. The media doesn't report it because we want to put the guys in the illusion that everything was grand. Don't you understand? New Year's Eve is when the devil does his best work. You understand that, right? He does his best work because you're inebriated. Now, listen, I'm not saying do not have a good time. I'm saying be safe. And let me throw this out here while I can. If you are going out anywhere and you are driving there, make a decision before you leave the house that you're going to stay there. You're going to stay there, or you have a concrete mode of transportation. Number one, do not think that, oh, well, I'll just take the back route to get home. Ain't cops ain't there. They're going to be there. And guess what? They're going to be mad because they didn't get to celebrate New Year's the way they wanted. So they looking to lock everybody up. They got to do their job. I ain't mad at them for that. Your life is worth it. And then the other aspect is, if you're not rolling solo, make sure whoever is going to be the DD ain't drinking. So what I'm saying is, make sure you got some money or a good phone number for somebody to come get you. Because unfortunately, there are going to be people that are going to try to, once again, like I said, try to outsmart themselves. And there are going to be some unnecessary fatalities. And unfortunately, there are going to be people in those vehicles that should not. And unfortunately, they're not going to watch the sun come up. I don't want that to be your story. Because one life lost is one life too many. Now, for those people that are soaking them black-eyed peas, cooking them greens, you know what I'm talking to. Mm-hmm. You know why we do the greens? It's because why not start your day, your new year. The greens represent, and the black-eyed peas is tradition. We already know. But really, the green support is you bringing the new year in alkaline, giving your body nourishment by purging the toxins out. Now, let me throw this out here too, because I know some of y'all like, Gerald, you saying all this and you got a damn cigarette in your hand. I sure do. But guess what? Before the bell tolleth, the divorce goes in effect. And with that being said, I cannot stress this. I want to take the time to thank each and every one of you for giving your time just to hear what comes from my heart. If you got 1 ounce of insight, if there was one thing that made you just say, you know what, I didn't think of it that way. And it helped your life be better than what it is. First of all, I hope to see you on my other channel, and it's okay because you can still be, you can subscribe, you stay subscribed here, but I'm gonna be putting a lot of effort on my other channel. And for those who do not know, the channel is called Journey of a Man. It's in all caps, Journey of a Man. And that will be, I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff, y'all. I'm going to be, as I always say, vulnerable to you because you'll get to see another perspective of Gerald. There are going to be things because I like to cook. and I'm going to be bringing recipes. If you got recipes, you send them to me. I'm going to try them out and get my spin on it and get perspective on it, because it's all about each one teach one. Also, I'm also going to be embracing 100% all about good health. So I'm going to be tapping into the holistical side of herbs, because see, you might not see it right now. You might not understand it right now. But guess what? There's somebody that is relying that you live the best life possible. It may be someone you have yet to say hello to. Maybe like the one. Yeah, you know, that spiritual person that's going to come into your life, that is going to have the key to your heart and is going to unlock the other side of your life. Yeah. hmm You got to make sure your temple's is on point. That means you may have to make the dedication to purge. How about change your diet up? How about have the fortitude to let that person out that's the real you out? Because I know some of y'all are going through unneeded emotional stress. I'm talking to the person that has been struggling with depression for over 10 years. Who am I talking to? And you thinking, well, that's just the world I live in, Gerald. You got this daffodil and daisy mindset, like everything is perfect. I'm not saying that. Anything that's worth of value is worth sacrifice, as long as it does not compromise what you stand for. So what do you stand for? Can you answer that? You can if you do this. Fall back in love with the real person. Because when you decide to fall back in love with the person that matters most, guess what'll happen? The people that don't give a damn about you, you will finally see them in the light that needs to be seen. That's why you always hear what's done in the dark comes to the light. Why? Because you deserve to be walking on the path that is intended, known as your legacy, your journey. Nobody can shine light on. They can inspire you until the cows come home. But at the end of the day, you got to do the work. You can't live your life on your back, King. You said, well, Gerald, I hear what you're saying, man. But I got this good wood, man. I got I got this salvation feed the needy mindset. And, I just go on ahead and, I just get it what get is good. Yeah, you keep going down that path, and guess what's gonna happen? God's gonna get tired of you, and your butt's gonna end up waking up, and your stuff ain't gonna work, because He don't want you spilling your seed. He wants you to save it for the one that deserves for you to claim her. And trust, if you do the work, God will bring her in your life, and she will blow every expectation your mind can fathom. But the beautiful thing about it is, she places God first, so she don't need you to boost up her self worth, because she loves herself. And truth be told, because that's the only way it can be, she will be your mirror. So guess what? If you laying with somebody right now and you're going through a bunch of bullshit, they're nothing but a reflection of what's found inside you. And in other words, the stuff you have yet to complete. Doesn't matter how it feels if you can't stand up. And speaking of standing up, let me throw this up. Let me throw this out here too, because you're going to hear this for the next 72 hours, maybe a week if we're lucky. Some of y'all watched the UFC 207 last night, right? I was one of them. I watched it, and I was very interested. I've been following UFC for the last pretty much pretty pretty. I've been watching it pretty thoroughly for the last 2 years, so I know the fighters and um, you know. But everybody wanted to know that one question. Could she do it? Right? We're referring to Ronda Rousey. Now, here's the funny thing. That lesson, that loss last night was her validation. Two things. And it's two things I saw. Number one, she did know to be humble in regards to when it came to coming in the ring because she touched Amanda Nunes's blood. You know, she didn't do that. She wanted to play the bully badass. But as you know, as long as you are a human being on this planet, there's always somebody that will have your number. There will always be someone that will be better than you. There will always be somebody that can sit you on your butt. That is human nature. Now, what was disappointing was she's still wrestling with her pride. She still has pride issues. And that was the reason why you saw no media interviews. You didn't see she removed herself from the octagon. And she saw it. Even though she didn't get knocked out, she was out on her feet. And you saw the truth in her eyes. She was very dejected. And a lot of it was when she took that break, you know, a lot of us felt, I included, but I hope she got with a boxing coach somewhere. She checked her ego and pride at the door, and she trained and prepared for it. She may have, maybe she didn't. Only she knows. But here's the beautiful part out of that whole thing. Because you're going to have a whole lot of people. They're going to they're going to be writing 10-cent checks and saying what they could have and should have would have done. I hope that now if she did not know, she takes time to assess the climate of her friendships and her associations. Who am I talking to? Because if she does that, she will be the champion of her life. She will be that champion of her life, and she will be at peace with herself. Because at the end of the day, people want to have opinions if you do right or if you do wrong. You do understand that, right? But guess what? The people that don't have your best interest will always have this perspective about you. The responsibility is not to respond. It is to be aware of that by not giving them attention. Take that negative and make it a positive and turn it into yourself. If you do that, guess what? You'll know the real from the fake. Because we can say this. You going to tell me there was not people sitting in the cut that already knew her capabilities, but still said, well, you know what? I see dollar signs. As long as she is not claiming herself, she can be manipulated. We can gas her up and get her to act and walk and talk a certain way. But as we already know, there's no amount of money that can be paid for your worth. You define that by your actions. You know, that's what it boils down to. So 2017 is this. 2017 is a beginning year. It is a year of validation. It is a year that the real you is going to demand to be validated. And I'll be remiss not to say this. 2017 is also going to be a year where a lot of y'all are going to metaphorically do some spring cleaning too. It is going to be that year where the kept woman, you know I love you, the kept woman, like the canary in the cage, is going to finally hear her voice by way of her feet, and she is going to claim herself back. And she's going to be, I don't need this. This is not a representation of who I am. I'm not in this nutshell that you think I am. And you're gonna have the courage to walk away from all that. And you're gonna have people in your circle, you need to take note of this, that are gonna be like this. They're gonna be like, well, look what you got. You driving that $100,000 car. You wear the finest things. You live in that beautiful house. How can you walk away from that? And you're gonna be just as meek. And you're gonna tell the truth. And you're like, that's his. That doesn't define me. Kind of like, you remember Queens when you were little girls, and before you had an actual Barbie doll, your mom or your grandparent or maybe your auntie started you off with that little book that had I'm being tongue tied right now. You had that cutout, and you had the little outfits, and you put the little outfits over the image, and you start putting outfits together. You know what I'm talking about. That's what some of y'all are like, well, that's what I've been feeling like for the last 30 years of my life. I've been nothing but a cutout. You know, I've been a piece in the, and some of y'all gonna be pissed off because you like, I ain't nobody's trophy. How can I shine if I don't claim my life back? And you're gonna also see the nuances of why that has your temperance the way it is. You're gonna be like, that's why I'm so damn angry, because I'm not living my life. I'm living my life through them. Some of y'all gonna turn around and do this. Some of y'all have been battling with your wounds, and you're gonna be like, dag nabbit, I'm tired of feeling this way, and I'm going in. And you want to have the courage to look at every wound. You're going to go back. You're going to go back into time. You're going to look back to that first scraped knee. Who am I talking to? You're going to look at that first time that you felt abandoned. You're going to go back to that moment when you honestly can say, you didn't protect me. You were the reason why I did not feel safe. You are the reason why. And you're going to turn around and you're going to start loving yourself. And yeah, there are going to be some people, which is funny, and I say this figuratively, you may have this persona of being the tomboy. You're the tomboy. But you can't pass up that mirror because that woman's looking back and you're like, no, I got to take this off. I got to, this ain't who I am. And you're going to start allowing the real you to come out. And it's going to shake a lot of people. A lot of people are going to be like, what? You seen Charlotte? And they thinking they're looking for their homeboy, and they're going to see that woman. It's okay to allow people to validate through behavior how beautiful you really are. but do not let that sway your steps, because what usually happens, see it all the time. You have a young woman that she may have been heavy, right? You can say baby fat, whatever, and then because of the motivation of rejection or feeling disfranchised, you got your ass up in the gym and you carved that beautiful shape out of that marble. And first of all, give props and praise to your elders, because you wouldn't have a wiggle if it wasn't from your 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 ancestors. Come on now. You don't think that is you're like, oh wow, I got no. You better thank the genetics of your dad, or if you take from your mom's side, your great grandmother. You think that that didn't come from that's yes, you are an extension. You are the walking example and manifestation of their dreams. Who am I talking to? Now, with that being said, what normally happens is you'll have someone that has never had attention, and all of a sudden you got a whole lot of them. The wolves come, and you try real hard to fight them off. Eventually, you get put on this on this emotional track, and you just knocking them down. You have never had this much attention, and you have not had so much intimacy thrown at you. But the problem is, they're not looking at the real. See, the real you is the person that you were before you transformed. They don't care about that person. They care about the person that is curvy-esque. And they have no problem telling you that, because all you have to do is listen and watch behavior. And I'm telling you this because if you don't do that, you're going to know what STDs is all about. You're going to also understand what pregnancies is all about too, because these people they're brought in to deplete you and corrupt the way you see the world. And that's not your story. Take it from somebody that's telling you this. You know, I was a late bloomer. I didn't lose my virginity until, 18, 19 years old. I was like the king of third base, you know. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. These soup coolers was a son of a gun. But then I went through this phase that if it had a pulse, but, you know, the truth of the matter, I was a harlot. I didn't go looking for it. It was always there. And it wouldn't be until me being in while serving in the Air Force, I had that moment where I'm laying in a bed. You know, you see it in the movies. You see the guy and he's asleep, and then he opens that eye and just looks over. And I didn't know the person, but my drawers are across the room. And after 2 or 3 times, I got so sick of being sick of my behavior, because I realized the epiphany was this. What makes you so special? You don't know her. The truth of the matter is she made a decision before she left her home, wherever she came from, to end up in someone's bed. And just so happened, you were the dummy of the moment. So when you want to throw the term hoe in the equation, kings, it's about quality, brother. It's not about quantity. Some people will use everything they can to block your dreams, to block your development, Oh, yeah, he's going somewhere. I'm gonna go ahead and put this baby on him. He's focused. I'm gonna go ahead and give him the gift that keeps on giving. What about that? Or worse, smells so good and touch so soft. All of a sudden, have somebody roll up onto you. What's up, dude? You realize there are people in cemeteries that shouldn't be in cemeteries? You realize that? There are people spending New Year's Eve behind bars that should not. You realize that? There are people on this planet right now living with HIV that should not. This is free will, y'all. If you don't see your value, you can expect them to honor it. If you don't see your worth, how can you expect them to protect it? See? That's for somebody because I got a feeling you thinking I'm gonna bring New Year's Eve in with a bang. And unfortunately, there are gonna be some people that are gonna be like this. Yep. I'm gonna bring New Year's Eve in too. Click, click. Give me all your crap. And if you don't, bang! Because we don't value life no more. We sensationalize it. Now I didn't talk enough, y'all, because at the end of the day, you grown. You grown. What are the 5 things that you're gonna do different for 2017? Hmm? I hope that one of them is assess your bonds, commitments, and associations. If they do not, exemplify what you stand for. You don't walk with them. Do not compromise your respect because of what she feel like, brother. Because guess what? She had a life before you, and she will have a life after you're gone. It depends on where your life fits in her story. Come on now. Now, let's talk about finance, and I'm gonna bring this home. 2017, I tell you, is a new beginning. So before you can have a new beginning, you've got to have a foundation. And to have a foundation, that means you got to assess. And if you don't assess, guess what? How can you make decisions that are for your best interest? How can you? How can you do it? So let me ask you this. You're going to stop making excuses for your life? If you're not happy at that job, if that job is affecting your health, you got some people that health is toe up because of the environment that they're in. Well, why don't you do something about them and make the step to have a transition to somewhere better? If you're in a job that all it does is bring you down, that ain't the environment you're supposed to be in. That's why you don't get a benefit in dumbing down. Queens, why you doing that? Well, you know, I'm with my pit bull. He's that man Dingo. He got me. But secretly, he's not on my level, and I know it. So technically, you are benefiting by manipulating, but you're the one that is dealing with it because you see it in your health. You see it every day. Somebody gonna go somewhere and come back with bruises. Somebody's gonna know this word to be true. Bowling ball. Uh-huh. And yeah, I would highly recommend y'all too. Let me tell you something, because them videos are gonna be out there too. Some of y'all like we're gonna be special, girl. Me and you gonna make a movie, yeah. Until You don't do what they tell you, and then they're gonna expose you. They're gonna put you out there. And women do it all the time too. Y'all got y'all little catalog, just like y'all got y'all little toys. And what you do behind closed doors is your business. But just make sure that while handling your business, the people see the value of your time and they value it. They don't want to exploit it. They don't want. They want to be your equal. Because if you have a pay to play mindset, the only one that's going to pay is you, because you accepted what was fake, what was a waste, which will only end up being what? Your disgrace. God's praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. I really do. And for that, it helps me discern mine. Y'all, 2017 is that get it year. This is the year when you say, move, get out the way, and you step, you step, you step. The people that love you, support you, will always be there. Here's what you don't realize. You got some people, like God is like, see, she don't even realize. He don't even realize what I got. He gonna open up that storeroom that got your name on it, y'all. Your blessings. He gonna like, see, because you you trusted me. You grow. You grew. That's right. Some of y'all are going to be like the butterfly. You are you've made the transition and went through so much in 2016, and now you are in the incubation stage of the cocoon. Respect that cocoon. Allow yourself to be transformed in the intended time and moment. Guess what? You'll get this. It's time for you to step out into the world. Spread your wings and soar. 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 Not everybody's going to be able to see what you are going to see. But it all starts when you decide to love yourself. And guess what? When you decide to believe. It starts with you, y'all, by way of Him. That's why He woke you up today. I want to thank each and every one of you. For those who are feeling me, who are riding with me, support me. Give me a like. If you ain't feeling what I got to say, of course. But at least if you ain't feeling what I'm saying, drop me a line. Let's chop it up. Because it is about each one teach one. Maybe there's something I need to learn. If you only knew how beautiful, how strong, how intelligent, as well as how blessed your life is. Don't worry. 2017 is your validation. Question is, will you go get it? Happy New Year. Bye.